Hello and welcome to yet another episode of Radio Tekkers Live. It's me, it's Mags, it's the Manchester Derby. Yeah, let's go ahead and get this thing going. Alrighty, everybody, what is going on? It is again Radio Tekkers Live. I am, of course, the Mermazing Tanner, which is somehow stuck around since last week. I guess that's sticking here.
I mean, is it your fault for not just editing your own name? It is pretty simple to do.
You know, I could just change it here shortly, but we'll figure it out here soon. Alongside me here, my partner in crime for today's episode, the Podfather himself, the Lord of all podcasts, Mags. Mags, how are you doing?
Kurt Blam. Yes, I am wired on coffee, absolutely knackered, because UFC 272 was last night, / this morning. Good event, really fun, but took a while for it to finish.
Yeah, it was a long show, and we've had some heavy hitting stuff going on this weekend. We've got UFC, we've got the AEW pay-per-view tonight. Tonight. It's not yesterday, but tonight. And then of course, for all the football fans right here and all around the world, it's time for the Manchester Derby, Mags.
Yep, and it's a big one this year. If this match would have happened maybe a couple of weeks ago, there wouldn't be as much at stake, but City have had a wobble over the last couple of games. Yes. Liverpool have dragged themselves back into contention. City need the win. Man United have kind of flopped a little bit in that race for top four. So yeah, this has become a much bigger match than it would have necessarily been.
The chat is already kicking off here. Bame in the chat says,
"Oi, hello, sir. How are you? Welcome to the chat."
Welcome to the chat, Bame. Matt Willis, who has dodged coming to this show in favor of setting up his office.
How dare he try and earn a living to feed his family? Yeah, he's a fucking scumbag.
Yeah, he's got to get the printer set up next to the freezer.
Do I unplug the freezer? Or do unplug the microwave?
Matt says, absolute carnage ahead, Manchester United to win 3-2. Now, how much of this is Matt's clear bias for Liverpool wanting to take advantage of a Manchester City drop?
Yeah, it's actually bitterly ironic that give it 5 years ago, you would have wanted anyone to win but Man United, but now, because of City's dominance, you would favour a Man United win. You fucking turncoat, Matt.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I would like Manchester United to win this game as well for personal reasons. But, Matt says in the chat that he despises Manchester United. I think a little bit of all of us do. Even your your co-host over on Chain Wrestling, Sai. I think even he hates Manchester United a little bit, despite being a supporter.
Yeah, I mean, he hates what the club have become. a shell of their former self. Conor McCabe in the chat. Hello, sir. How are you? Did a live stream of was it Columbus Crew game last night? Well done for that.
Yes, indeed.
No mention of Austin FC again, unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there.
That's bias. That's a lot of bias.
Okay, well, we're getting starting lineups in here as I try to finish up keying all of them in for the starting lineups here. But I guess on paper, Mags, I mean, this is a big test for a very early Ralf Rangnick led side, of Manchester United, taking on a former rival in Pep Guardiola. I mean, the two have had a little bit of history in the Bundesliga. Rangnick, of course, he was basically put in charge of the RB system to try and overthrow Pep Guardiola and his Bayern side.
Yeah, and very interesting that in the potentially the biggest game of his short tenure as Man United manager, he's dropped the biggest star of the club, and not only dropped him from the side, dropped him from the squad. No Ronaldo in the team at all, and in fact, he's gone for essentially a strikerless formation, because even Rashford doesn't make the starting lineup. He's gone for Elanga, essentially in that number 10 role. Obviously, the in goal, De Gea, he's been undroppable recently. Then you've got Wan-Bissaka and Alex Telles on the wings, Lindelof and Maguire at the back, so no Varane in there. You've got McFred holding up the middle, and then you've got a leading midfield three of Sancho, Fernandes, and Pogba, all leading into Elanga. So yeah, interesting that he's going for the strikerless formation.
He's doing something very interesting here with this, and I don't know if I'm sure you picked up on it as well, but he's doing basically what what Ole did at the beginning of the season, where he's putting Pogba out wide to help supplement the rest of the team. Elanga up front's an interesting idea. Fernandes, I think he's clearly the guy that pulls all the strings in midfield for United.
But look at the game against Watford. He was terrible, really kind of off his game. The last time we watched Man United live, Fernandes was awful. He was very lucky to stay on the pitch. So it's a brave move putting all that pressure on Fernandes. But as Matt says in the chat, apparently Ronaldo, Varane, and Shaw have COVID, so that makes them unavailable, and they are three big losses. I mean, Shaw not so much. He's probably busy selling his NFTs, making bank with that crypto.
The crypto link.
Yeah, but it's interesting they didn't go with Rashford. I am really surprised that with just Rashford sat on the bench.
It is interesting. I think that we will see him come on at some point. He might be, saving a little bit of an ace up his sleeve here.
Yeah, perhaps.
Guardiola's side today, though, fairly straightforward.
There is a big slot missing. No Diaz, which is a bit of a worry, because he's been absolutely solid in his time at Man City. But when you can switch between Stones, Diaz, and Laporte, that's a solid back three for me. Stones obviously really had a good relationship with Diaz, and Laporte is obviously very, very top draw. But you've got Edison in goal, one of the best keepers in the world. Walker and Cancelo as wing backs, Stones and Laporte centre backs. Midfield three of Rodri being supported by De Bruyne and Grealish, and then the front three, Mahrez, Bernardo Silva, and Phil Foden. So that's a powerful lineup, and that's even without Sterling in the team, even without Gundogan in the team, even without Fernandinho in the team. All of those sat on the bench. That's scary.
So scary. Two strikerless systems, two very different approaches to it as well. I mean, Mags, who do you like here? This is a very interesting matchup.
I think the thing that stands out for me, though, is that Man City have thrived without in this strikerless formation. Man United, this is one of the very few times that they've adopted it. So I think City are going to have the heads up in terms of experience. But I just want this title race to be opened wide up. And for as much as I'm not a fan of Man United, I want a Man United win because I want to see how Pep reacts when Liverpool are breathing down the neck. I want this title race to go into the last few weeks with a little bit of excitement, and I want to see your guys just think that you've got that trophy in your hands and then just be crushed on the last day of the season. That would make my day as a Burnley fan. So that's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping for a Man United win.
I don't. The ulterior motives here is just off the charts.
I giveth and I taketh away.
Yeah, it's a very harsh reality I live here on this podcast. Morty in the chat, how's it going, Mort? Hope you're doing well.
Do you know, normally I would say welcome, Morty, but there's some stuff that have been revealed on social media over the last 48 hours.
Some stuff has been revealed.
Morty is not the guy that you think that he is.
Is this private stuff? Like I can't know about this?
He likes peanut butter and mayonnaise sandwiches.
What? Morty.
This guy, yeah.
Get help.
I'm tempted to block him. I'm really tempted to block. But thank you for turning up, Morty.
Thank you, Morty. In all seriousness, thank you. We appreciate you here. Throw it in the chat. What appeals to you with the sandwich? Like I've got my podcasters wrong. It's Fitch. His tag team partner. So Morty, you are more than welcome then, sir. I apologise for slandering the good name of Morty. Radio Tekkers is not responsible for any libelous claims.
And then in another twist in the story, he's the guy who doesn't like square sausage. So yeah, fuck Morty. Morty can piss off.
Most ladies don't like square sausages either.
No. I mean, that sounds like a Tanner problem.
Anyway, moving on to the game. Let's see here. Connor McCabe in the chat. Pep confirmed that Manchester City will go for a striker this summer. I believe they picked one up in the wintertime. I've already forgotten the fellow's name. River Plate striker. He's still there. He's coming in. Yeah,
they loaned him back out, didn't they?
Yeah, I don't know.
And they've still got Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, I have Jesus.
I don't class Jesus as an out-and-out striker, but he certainly can get in amongst the goals. But yeah, they do need someone in that Aguero mould, I believe. Dan Griffin in the chat saying, "Afternoon, did he walk into salty mags?" When have you ever seen me? So I am just the epitome of happy all the time. How dare you fucking call me salty? I'm salty about that now. Graham saying he's only here to remind me that Jaffa cakes are better than hobnobs. How do you block somebody again? That's disgusting.
What is a hobnob?
So a hobnob is a cookie or a biscuit, as they should be called, made with kind of oats, wheat, honey, and they're all crammed together. If you dip them in a cup of coffee or a cup of tea, they will absolutely drink that up for you and still stay solid. They're the king of biscuits. Okay. Whereas a Jaffa cake is like an abortion.
All right then. We've got the teams on the pitch for the coin toss.
Brilliant.
Predictions for this.
Yeah, the brain says City walk away with this. Despite the kind of little wobble they've had recently, on paper this squad is just absolutely scary looking. But I want Man United to win. Like I said, I want this title race to be opened up. So I'm going to go Man United. I don't think they'll get 3. I think Matt's very optimistic with that. But I'm going 2-1. 2-1 Man United.
I think a solid 2-1 sounds about right. I'm going to go maybe a 2-2 just because of how potent City are. I'm going to go with the 2-2 draw.
That again is still a good result for Liverpool. It certainly keeps the pressure on Manchester City, especially with how Liverpool scabbed a win this weekend. So Graham apparently saying he's in timeout. I haven't actually put you in timeout unless Matt has done it, which is out of order.
Matt says Graham is in timeout.
Well, for that, I have put Matt in timeout. So, Matt, you're now in timeout, sir. Get to work.
You got to sort out the printer situation.
Connor McCabe, my brother from another mother. I've had Jaffa cakes from a world market, and they're absolutely disgusting. And you're right. And the cake bit is fine. The chocolate bit on the top, meh, it's not the best chocolate, but it's the plastic fruit flavoured disc that just reviles me. It's horrific.
You know what doesn't revile me is these breakfast bowls here. They're just great.
This is becoming a regular thing where you rock up to a podcast and just eat your breakfast.
I think that's what I'm going to start doing just every week. Is just eat during the show.
That could be a whole segment. What are you eating for your breakfast this week, Tanner?
Well, this is a sausage, bacon, egg, and cheese with potato.
By the way, we have
scrambled.
kicked off. Just to let you know.
Okay.
You haven't kicked off yet, have you?
We have not. We have Bruno Fernandes standing over the ball.
So,
But this is what you get when you tune to Radio Tekkers. Part, hilarity, comedy, football coverage, mukbang. It's all
and a smidgen of football.
a smidgen of football.
Right, so I'm on 22 seconds. I'll let me know when you are there.
Bruno Fernandes is eyeing Fred like a Jaffa cake.
Oh, what in disdain? Just shaking his head, mockingly judging him.
How did you make it here? Why?
Do you have an orangey inside?
I had one this morning.
There we go. Dan with the naming. Tanner's Scran Corner. That's going to be a new segment.
That should be a whole YouTube channel, really.
Oops. Yeah, we did, Graham. We absolutely did talk through the minute of silence.
I'm actually at the 10-second mark now, Mags. We've just kicked off as we were talking.
It's your fault, Graham, as well, for bringing up the Jaffa Cake talk. You offend me sometimes. 22 seconds yet?
22. Yep. Here as City is passing the ball back to Ederson. Yeah, there you go. Or
I mean, that's
Emerson.
very pressing. But instead of got no strikers, everybody's seems to be working hard. A lot of energy from Man United.
Yeah, it goes to show what happens when you put the right players in the system. Ronaldo.
I don't even think it may be. No, I don't think it's a case of the right players. I think it's players who are
hungry for this.
Yeah,
game.
energetic for it. Yeah, who want to win. Ronaldo just doesn't seem to have a lot of passion recently.
Kind of like Masvidal last night.
Oh, he got shown to be the journeyman that he is. The journeyman that I have said he has been for the past 5 years. That nobody listens to me. I have a fucking MMA podcast, people. I know what I am talking about. No,
Listen to me.
Yeah, acknowledge me, goddammit. Where's my 100 million from Spotify? I promise I won't be racist or talk about ivermectin.
He won't. Mags is very clean cut in that sense. He won't cause you a whole lot of controversy, and when he does, it'll be about Jaffa cakes.
It'll be more food-based controversy, definitely.
United controlling the ball very well here. Pogba laying it off here to the side. I believe that's Sancho right there on the right side of things here. Elanga. No, that's Pogba. Now out to
Facing
Elanga.
a big blue wall there though, who win the ball back. But Man United retrieve it pretty much straight away again. Dan Griffin in the chat saying Dave Meltzer has a wrestling podcast, doesn't mean he knows about wrestling. Well, I mean, you could come with facts all you like, Dan. But I do know a little bit about MMA, not loads. I do wing a lot of it, but you'd never know because I'm a goddamn professional.
Jack
We get
Grealish.
a big close up of sexy Jack Grealish.
Yeah, it looks like he woke up and rolled out of the dumpster this morning.
The irony of homeless Tanner saying that Jack Grealish looks like he slept in a dumpster. Brilliant.
It's cold outside, so he probably closed the lid.
Wow. Rocking up to City's training ground with banana skins stuck to his shoulders.
What's that on your boots there? just a old muffin casing.
Rangnick. Someone stepped in some dog shit. No, it's Jack. You shower before training, not after, before.
That's why they call it the shitty hod.
Oh.
No,
I thought it was the empty hat.
It is the empty hat too. But I mean, if you look at it, they're packed today, man. They are full to the brim for this Manchester derby. I think it's probably the big fixture for City fans all season. Is the home welcoming to Manchester United.
I mean, it has become a huge derby. For a long time it wasn't. This was like a bump in the road from Man United, but now they are bitter rivals again.
Yeah, you'll have to go all the way back to Don't Look Back in Anger era Manchester City with Liam and Noel Gallagher going to the games all the time to see those.
But that was when they was at Main Road, and as we say, that City's first real attack fed the ball nonchalantly into De Bruyne in the middle of the box. Nobody picking him up at all, and a simple slot away. So for all Man United's opening 5 minutes or so of pressure and energy broke down by one simple City attack. And
this is kind of to the point that we regularly talk about, but we didn't really touch on here this morning, and is that United's defensive frailties are still alive and well here, Mags.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, Slabhead has been embarrassed all season. Lindelof, even when you name him on the team sheet, you don't think he's actually there. But wow, what a great finish from De Bruyne. Slides in between two defenders. Started with Jack Grealish. I think it was Silva with the through ball. And De Bruyne just simply puts it away.
Yeah, I mean, Maguire gets nutmegged.
Through the legs of Maguire. Lindelof with the slide tackle that's absolutely nowhere. And both of them work together to get in the way of De Gea. So
and what gets me is that he throws up his hands afterwards, looking around at his team, and it's like this is more about you than anything else.
And saying that, Man United on the break pulled over for offside though.
Oh, it's a shame. Kevin De Bruyne, he is magnificent though. He's such a good player.
And that was his 50th Premier League goal.
Oh,
which is shocking. I thought he'd had way more than that.
Yeah, he's kind of the Ed Sheeran of football. You thought he's way more than what he actually is. But he's good, but he's.
He's incredibly ginger. That's what it is. That's what you were getting at. Your ginger phobia was coming out then, Tanner. Couple more things in the chat. Matt Willis saying that Jack Grealish is not wearing shin pads. He's just got hard pieces of pizza shoved down there. Well, I don't agree with that, because if they were hard pieces of pizza, he would have probably nibbled on them for sustenance. Morte saying he's sorry for inadvertently turning this into a biscuit podcast by saying hello. Well, apologise for the months and months, for the years of this being a biscuit podcast when you didn't turn up, because it happens pretty much every week, non-stop.
There's a lot of food talk in this podcast.
Our very loyal followers love to poke the bear with their horrific food takes, knowing that Tanner and I, being foodies, will bite.
Please drop it in the chat, folks. We would love to hear some of the horrific opinions that you have about food.
And we will laugh at them and mock you incessantly.
To all of the internet and all those who bear witness.
Yes, correct. I mean, remember Picklegate? Jesus Christ!
Oh, Picklegate! What an awesome time that was. You can still find that on the Radio Tekkers YouTube channel.
It was horrific. Dan Griffin saying to Mo, it was eventually going to happen. Yeah, it happens literally every show. We very rarely cover football. In fact, we've covered more football now than the average Radio Tekkers.
Yeah, true. Sancho, though, he's working the ball, going to Fernandes. Elanga.
Oh, solid defending and just nicked away at the end. It looked like it was Pogba ready to pounce. I think, it was Fred.
Oh, it's Fred. All right.
Mm-hmm. Conor McCabe saying, and just like that, Man City's 1-up, F Man U. Graham with a stat. Since Man United's last title win in 2012-2013, City have finished above Man United every single year. Man United have finished an average of 15 points behind City. The gap going in today's game is 90 points. Jesus.
What a way to silence your neighbors.
And then Matt drops this horrific bombshell, and for that, it might happen again. He may have to go into timeout again. Keep coming with that bullshit, Matt, and you'll be put into timeout again, sir.
I just want to know why. Why? What is it about Marmite that you prefer over jam? This is horrific.
It's wrong. Marmite is a war crime. Putin invaded Ukraine over Marmite. Let's just say that.
I mean, it's about as real as some of the other news coming out of Russia these days. Hot take: Oreos are rubbish.
Connor, do you know what else is rubbish? Your Columbus Crew work, sir. How dare you? How dare you slag off Oreos?
So, like, Oreos aren't like. I'll stand up for Connor here for a minute. Oreos are not like the bee's knees, but they make for excellent toppings. And I prefer, with my Oreos, I prefer to get two at a time at least. Twist off the tops, and then make a larger sandwich.
Okay.
With the cream parts.
Why not do an Oreo cheesecake? So you get your Oreos, split the biscuits, take the creamy bit out, mix that in with your ricotta, use the biscuits as the base.
I mean, that's absolutely a good idea. I've just never had the urge to make a cheesecake. It's really what it comes down to.
You're missing out on some of last little pleasures. Bernardo Silva fouled somebody, and before the foul was even finished, he's complained to the referee that he didn't foul them.
Yeah, it was
your favourite player, Bernardo Silva.
I can't stand him. It was Bernardo Silva on Bruno Fernandes, so it was really like a coming together of Portuguese crybabies.
No Ronaldo, he'll be crying at the side, just one solitary tear. Why am I not involved? Hello, darkness, my old friend. Just looking out the window.
The old recycling commercial from the 70s with the Native American.
Stood next to Smokey the Bear. Only you can prevent forest fires.
Please save the earth. Back to the game. De Gea passes it off to Lindelof, who barely gets it off to Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka tried his hardest keeping it in. Ball's now worked over to Pogba.
And that's a great ball.
That's a great ball for Elanga.
Nobody in the middle yet, though. Now they're just arriving.
He found Fred. Fred finds Pogba. Pogba finds Rodri.
The floor.
they fall to the ground.
The floor.
Oh, God.
Have Man United got the foul there? It was a foul, surely.
I mean, it has to be, right?
Oh, yeah, Pogba's picking up the ball. This is in Pogba range as well.
But it's a free.
Oh, no, it's a City foul. Brilliant. That was amazing. Rodri fouls Pogba. Pogba concedes the free kick. Awesome.
Let's see here. Dan in the chat says, Fitch seems like the kind of person to dunk the scone in the jam, then scoop the cream.
I mean, he shouldn't be allowed near scones, and they're not scones. That's annoying. Shouldn't be allowed near scones at all if that's the case.
You don't like the word scones?
Well, I don't mind the word scone, but it doesn't describe a scone. It's not the same thing.
Right on then. Morty in the chat. I disagree too. Oreos make wonderful coasters.
Oh dear. I'm getting very trigger happy with this mute button.
It seems like maybe you loving Oreos is the hot take here, Mags.
It seems that quite quickly Morty has cottoned on that you can trigger me with your horrific food takes. I don't get what the Radio Tekkers fans or listeners get from winding me up. Why is this a thing? Why do you like to see me vexed?
Graham with the chat of the century here. I assumed Matt wasn't in the Tekkers studio today as he's working. Did he just order takeout instead of cooking today?
Brilliant. I bet that happens. I bet when he goes to work, because Matt, for people who don't know, works in a hospital kitchen / office / surgery. And I guarantee many times he rocks up and says, I can't be bothered cooking today. we're all ordering takeout, and he just orders loads of Subways, and everybody's on Subway sandwiches.
Mrs. Williams, how would you feel about low min today? Do you some General Tso's chicken? I know you have a gluten-free kind of dietary restriction.
I'm vegan. Well, you can have the vegetables.
I'll make sure to order double broccoli then.
And sugar snap peas. Delicious.
Oh, goodness. The chat is they're just having themselves a good old time here, asking each other about food.
Graham already trying to poke the bear by asking Morty's opinion on arrows. We know this, Graham. Bubbly chocolate is the fucking devil. Morty, if you like arrows, I'll never listen to your horrific podcast ever again.
Manchester United break up a really good passage of City's play here. Fernandez tried to find somebody and then gets brought down from behind. It was like a Mario character falling over on his ass.
Grealish just absolutely welling him in the back.
Grealish looks like some kind of weird doll that you would find off the street.
One of the best pleasures you can have in Premier League football is seeing Bruno Fernandes on the floor crying that he hasn't won a foul. It's just a glory to see. As City win the ball back and just again very nonchalantly get it forward, trying to get it over the heads of Maguire and Lindelof. Wasn't really able to do it that time, but it just shows how easy the danger comes from Man City. They're not even out of first gear. There's no pace or there's no kind of counter attack from City. It's just quick, long balls and people are already in position.
I mean, we've got to remember that the last time these two played, City literally played United off the park at Old Trafford, and it was only a week after after United played Liverpool, maybe 2 weeks after. Yeah, it's just real tragic time there for United. But I'm hoping that for United's sake, they're going to come into this game remembering some of that pain.
The issue is the flowing football from City, though. Man United, they're just struggling to contain Manchester City. The defence don't seem to be on par with each other. The midfield 5/6 seem to be struggling to track back. I mean, you've got Alanga there, who's the lead striker in the fullback position.
Laporte just ran right through somebody there. It may have been Pogba.
I think it was Alanga on the wing. And again, City on the break. One simple chance, and it looks like we've got a claim for a penalty. Nope, free kick.
Free kick. They're calling it. They're actually calling it back here for free kick for United. Graham in the chat says, Matt, please don't order Chinese takeout. You are awful with the numbers. I'll order 3 number 1s, 2 27s, 5 33s, and at the end of the day, they're all going to make 1 number 2.
So we've got Morty trying to catch me out on my football knowledge here. Yeah. Can you name the 3 England captains that have played for Scunthorpe United? So, Tanner, can you name any? Can you name one of them?
I don't think I can name 3 Scunthorpe United players.
So,
it just goes
and
to show.
I know Kevin Keegan was a Scunthorpe player.
Ooh, that's a good shout, Kevin Keegan.
Ray Clements as well, I think, played for Scunthorpe. Struggling with a third one.
Were they England captains?
Yeah,
Keegan was.
Yeah,
Clements was.
Mm-hmm. The third one might need to get back to you.
Wow.
I can't think of a third. I mean, are we talking football captain? Ian Botham. He was a cricket captain, played football for Scunthorpe. Well played, Morty, well played. I'll give you that one, sir.
Old Kevin Keegan.
With his massive perm. And he would love it if Newcastle beat Manchester United. He would love it. They didn't.
He's an interesting character, Kevin Keegan.
In what way?
I just find him to be interesting.
Really? I find him to be a sap. Boring.
Yeah.
No, he was a great footballer. I think he spent time in Germany, didn't he? I think with Hamburg.
Yeah. After Liverpool.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely great player. The managerial stuff didn't quite come off. I think he got a lot of his work through his charisma rather than his actual managing ability. Did I just call Kevin Keegan a massive perv? No, I just called him a sap. Like, boring.
I think
vapid.
Mags liked his perm, I think is the word that Mags used there.
He had a very coiffured perm.
Yeah.
It looks like he used a lot of Soul Glow in his time.
And Ray Clements, I didn't know that he played for Scunthorpe United either.
I don't think he remembers playing for Scunthorpe United.
I mean, he's one of Liverpool's all-time greats. Now I feel ashamed for missing not just one Liverpool legend, but two.
And Morty saying the only thing he knows about football are about Scunthorpe. Well, I am sorry for your loss, sir. My heart goes out to you and your loved ones. Connor, to go back to Mag's remark earlier in the show, I don't banter Austin FC so much because I enjoy chatting along while I was watching, and I don't want Tanner to throw the banhammer down.
I don't think I've ever thrown the timeout button down on anybody. That's normally like a you and Matt kind of thing. I mean, you can.
It's normally Matt. I've only used it over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, I mean, you can talk about Austin FC. Just know that I'm going to talk back like that. I think that's part of the problem.
And that's the whole point of interacting to a live watch along. That you will get fired back at.
That's the.
Oh wow! And we're there talking absolute bollocks, and Man United push forward. It actually looked like Sancho had nowhere really to go. Nobody making any kind of moves to make some space. So he takes it on himself, edge of the 18-yard box, dinks a beautiful curl to the bottom post. Ederson absolutely nowhere near it. And yeah, what a great goal. Man United back in this game.
Yeah, Sancho had miles of space, and then it looked like he got congested. And just lashed it right in. That is great.
And it was literally on the 18-yard line as well. That's a beautiful finish.
What a goal here. Jadon Sancho. I mean, where has this guy been the last 6 months? You know? Like,
it does look like Stones maybe obstructs the view of Ederson. I don't think he's culpable. He's nowhere near the ball. It's probably more Laporte who gets upended by Sancho's trickery. But that's a great goal. A little bit against the run of play, but it's all to play for now. And yeah, the red side of Manchester will be buzzing with that goal.
That was a hell of a goal there by Jadon Sancho. Also, a hell of a fashion choice here by Ralf Rangnick. He's wearing his he's wearing a I believe like a Michelin Man style puffy vest jacket coat.
Are they not called Gillettes?
Gillettes,
yeah.
Like the best a man can get.
Well,
Gillette.
Clearly not.
But he's also wearing a giant overcoat over the vest. A very nice overcoat, I would say. But still.
He wants to feel the benefit of being warm, but also fashionable.
It just looks ridiculous.
I mean, have Germans been known for their high fashion?
I thought so until today, until just now.
I mean, Klopp does rock around with a Liverpool baseball cap 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
I mean, but that man is he's
But he-
personified the coach look.
But he does have funky glasses every week.
Yeah,
which
he's
is cool.
looking great. I think he stopped doing the glasses so much. I really miss the glasses.
Yeah, I do. The grey round ones were a personal favourite.
Yeah, he's got a great choice of glasses wear. Matt in the chat, who clearly doesn't know what a joke is, tries to poke fun at me about Jadon Sancho. Where's this guy been? Everyone on
That
the
was
bench.
clearly what he was aiming for, Matthew.
Yes, Matt.
Idiot. Get back to warming up those ready meals.
Make sure you're sanitizing those instruments there. You know, we don't want some spare pepperoni going into somebody's brain surgery.
I mean, for people who live in Clacton, that might actually up their IQ.
Oh.
City on the attack now at the edge of the Man United box. Ball's whipped in quick. Foden tries to get the flash header off, but way too much on it.
Accidental kind of looking shot there, it seems. Jadon was Manchester United's Player of the Month for February.
And probably started one game in that whole month.
He's like, that one game, he was so great. Yeah.
You heathen. So Matt says his patience for enjoying Lancashire hot pot as we speak. Lancashire hot pot made by a southerner. That's offended me. How dare you? Oh.
For those unawares, Mags, what is a Lancashire hot pot?
So Lancashire hot pot is a dish created at my neck of the woods in Lancashire. So it's essentially like a stew, like carrots, onions, lamb, and it's topped with sliced potatoes and then baked till you form like a crust with the potatoes.
Oh,
yeah, it's delicious.
that sounds.
Shouldn't be made in Clacton. Clacton on Sea, as south as it can get. They shouldn't be eating no Lancashire hot pot.
Let's see here. Graham says, per Statman Dave, Jadon Sancho has directly contributed to 4 goals in his last 5 Premier League games. Yeah.
He certainly has, yeah. He's
very
becoming
good.
close to the player that he was at Dortmund. Not quite there yet. At Dortmund, he was scarily good.
Yeah.
Scarily good.
He's very, very good. More of these performances here from Jadon Sancho, and he will be giving Gareth Southgate no choice but to start him. That's for sure. My dog has joined us here. She's wanting to enjoy the game.
Come on, Puppa, give us more tactical analysis than Matt could ever do. Ironically, your dog's there, and we'll be recording an episode of A Changing Attitude.
I was about to
very,
say
very soon about dogs.
about dogs. Yeah.
So tune in a couple of weeks when that episode drops. It's we haven't recorded it yet, but it is going to be a doozy. This dog show was the best thing we've ever watched in the 40 odd episode run of this show so far.
Most competitive for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Oh goodness. United doing a lot of pinning back for City. They're really trying with this high press here in this phase of play. Trying to pin City back. Oh, nice recovery there.
City do just have this innate ability to be so far forward without really putting in a lot of effort. And as we say that, I think it's Foden just powers through, and De Gea is fuming at his defence. Foden powered through, ripped the defenders apart. De Gea was able to batten the shot off, but eventually it just falls to De Bruyne, who slots it away. And for all De Gea's hard work, his defenders let him down yet again.
And City, they're doing the what do they call it when you turn your back on the opposing team, and you jump around and dance around, whatever the heck it is.
Is that not called just disrespect?
The Posner or something like that? I don't know.
Oh, is it? I've never heard of that. I think you might have made that up.
Oh, I could have. I don't know. I thought there was like an actual term for it.
There could well be. I am not aware of it. Yeah, the ball there was bouncing around. The work by Foden, superb.
Lindelof misses a header from that he could have easily gotten around Phil Foden from. Harry Maguire, very pedestrian.
And Lindelof on the floor again. Harry Maguire on the floor again. Very, yeah. So Dan's confirming it is the Poznan. So you were right.
Ah. Yeah.
And he's also asking if it was the Westminster Dog Show. Yes, it is. The 1997 Westminster Dog Show, the most competitive of all of the Westminster Dog Shows.
Now you can only find a partial of this show on YouTube. However,
it's gold.
It's great, and we do have the full results available, so we will.
Which were hard to actually get hold of. Digging these out, I almost had to do some dark web Silk Road dealings. I think I may owe somebody a hit in Guatemala because of getting hold of these names, but
I can only imagine Mags in like a darkened room with a computer monitor light, and then just like a message pops up in the chat saying like, "Are you trying to find Dalmatians, sir?" No, just the results.
Yeah, I'm more interested in the Bichon Freeze.
City here still dominant. The ball goes right over everybody though for a goal kick.
I
Mahrez
will.
has a giant nut on the side of his head.
He does. I will say though, my prediction is now officially down. I said Man United 2-1, and so there's only you and Matt that can actually nail this now.
Hope this game goes into extra time and penalties just to hear Ori's reaction.
She was not a happy bunny. We got told off in the recording afterwards.
I guess, yeah, maybe a little bit. I don't remember it that much.
You didn't watch the show in the first place, so you didn't really need to remember.
Fair enough. But we'll for more takes on Ori, you'll have to definitely tune into this week's A Change in Attitude when we do the dog show, because apparently she was talking some shit about me. I'm gonna have to straighten some things out.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. And when you've got some free time, definitely check her out on Twitch. She's so close to getting Twitch affiliate status. She just needs to kind of bump those concurrent viewer numbers up. So even if you're at a loose end, just jump in a chat and show her a bit of love, because she works hard, especially containing us three guys. So definitely go and show her some love.
Yes, in all seriousness, Ori is fantastic, and she does such a good job of analysis and trying to make people think about the show in a different way here, as Manchester City looking again dangerously close for another goal here, for which United have no real answer for, it seems.
I mean, United are even trying to pack out the box to kind of frustrate Man City, and it's just not working. Man City's accuracy is just on another level with passing. Dan Griffin saying, plus in Ori the Joe's chat, you can talk mad shit about Tanner. It's a lot of fun. That's very mean of you, Dan.
Yeah,
it's a mean streak.
I believe that's what is what the kids on the out there on the street call bullying. I believe that's what it's.
It's what the kids call bullying.
Yeah, I believe that's what that's called. So, yeah, if you want to be a bully like Dan Griffin,
a cyber bully.
You want to be
Dan the cyber bully Griffin.
De Gea with the ball to Lindelof, who's also been bullied all game, it seems.
And the game's only 33 minutes long, and he's had 90 minutes worth of bullying. Man United trying to break with Pogba, I think, and just comes to absolutely nothing. City regain the ball and then slow the pace right down, passing right across the back line. No impetus to attack because they know they'll just open up some space. And there again, Edison with a great crossfield pass. And City just slowly working their way back towards the Man United goal to make it 3-1 very, very soon.
Pogba is the only one who's applying pressure here and trying to chase down the ball. That's the first rule of gegenpress, which Ralf Rangnick should be instilling in these players. You have to press with multiple players if you're going to try and go for a trigger like that. It does not work if you just have one guy running at the ball.
It just showed then the way that Man United haven't adapted to this gegenpress system. They had 5 people in and around the centre circle, and not one of them was attempted to press. The referees stopped play for a reason, going over to the managers.
Okay, so there's an issue in the crowd. Medical staff are heading over. There's a bit of pointing there. Definitely, obviously, somber scenes here, of course. Because
whereas, look, this shows how passionate for this game that Pep is. Even winning 2-1 is reading the riot act to his defenders. Cancelo and Laporte getting particularly shouted at here.
Matt, again, misconstruing kind of what I'm saying here. My point here, Matt, is that you can't just press with just one player. You have to press with multiple players. I'm not saying you can't just gegenpress with anybody.
Yeah,
that would be wrong.
I mean, Man United have the squad to put gegenpress into players, but like Tanner said, you need all the players pressing in unison. So when the ball comes loose, you can then counter. That's not what's happening with Man United. It seems that Pogba is the only one running round like a dog chasing a ball, and the Man City players are just passing around him, wearing him out, and then you've got Sancho on one side, Fernandes on the other side,
somewhere.
Not even attempting to push.
Scottish Danny's joined the chat. Afternoon, Scottish Danny. Hope you're doing well.
Scottish Danny may be the first person who got fired from 2 podcasts in one Twitter feed earlier this week.
Wow. Poor Scottish Danny.
Yeah, his takes offended me. I'm sure he was doing it to wind me up.
We did get a glimpse of Sir Alex Ferguson in the crowd. I didn't know whose grandmother that was for a moment. Then I realized it was Sir Alex Ferguson.
He was smiling as well, ironically, which... if this was his Man United team losing 2-1 to City, he wouldn't be doing much of the smiling.
Yeah, maybe he was reflecting and being like, how could I have gotten 30 years all so wrong? I should have been on the other side of Manchester.
How did these douchebags destroy my legacy so quickly? I worked decades to build this team to be unbeatable, and they've crumbled it in less than 10.
Oh, man.
I knew I shouldn't have had Moyes picked as my successor.
Indeed. Matt in the chat, obviously very thankful about the medical attention being given in the stands. Yes, that's definitely one of the things that we have noticed a lot more, especially after the Christian Eriksen incident back during the Euros. So that's definitely good that the Premier League is stepping up and taking, I guess, medical situations very seriously.
Especially with fans as well. I mean, it would be easy for the clubs to kind of overlook it and carry on playing football, but it's good that the match stops to deal with these issues.
Scottish Danny asks if he's going to be appearing on today's dog show. Yes, you will be.
Yeah, because Daniel, it was your idea to cover this. It was a bloody good idea, inspired idea, but it was your idea, so you have to be there. You'll be the Lex Luger rocking up on Raw, and then next week you'll be on Nitro.
I don't think Scottish Danny's going anywhere on a change in attitude anytime soon, folks.
Absolutely he's not. Graham saying, I wonder how many of the Tekkers viewing having bad takes it will take for Max to consider the possibility that it's his takes that are bad. It will take infinite, and that's a real number, Graham. Look it up. It's in the maths books. It will take an infinite number of takes for me to even remotely consider that I am in the wrong, because I'm not. It's all of everybody else is the problem, not me.
I mean, they were about to revolt on your Oreo being the best cookie kind of.
I mean, I didn't say it was the best cookie. They were brought up saying that I think it was Connor trying to throw the cat amongst the pigeons, saying that Oreos were terrible. They are not terrible. I am right in that, and I will die on that hill.
Oh, United gave the ball away directly to De Bruyne. He's marching down the field here. He passes it out wide to Foden.
And Maguire absolutely scared to death of De Bruyne there. Foden did have a decent opportunity, couldn't really get past the defender and scuffs the shots very, very wide. But again, Manchester City in first gear, still able to pull off chances.
You know, I really do believe that United need like 2 new center backs this summer, like 2 new,
or at least a consistently fit Varane and somebody else.
Yeah, like I just don't even know if I would put Maguire and Lindelof out there ever. Like that's just like liability and calamity waiting to happen.
Maguire in particular has had a woeful 18 months. Lindelof, I mean, what was his level anyway? He never seemed to be a Man United caliber player. So I think he's only just living up to his own standards as Man United break. Oh, and then the Jadon Sancho, who you could drop, comes into show there, punts the ball way over the bar. Yeah. That was a good break of play though by Man United, to be quite fair.
Ball landed good link up play. Row E there, it looked like. Fernandes with the good eye, and then Sancho just scuffed it way, way, way bad. Graham in the chat says, for Matt's benefit, the infinity symbol looks like a lying down 8. Yes. Yes.
Brilliant.
Oh, goodness.
As we enter the final few minutes of this first half, City looking pretty comfortable. And another great ball.
De Gea.
Oh, wow. And that shows just how little faith he has in his defence, that Wan-Bissaka was chasing back, and De Gea knew he had to at least come for that ball. Was wrong-footed. And
brave.
Very lucky that they actually got away with that.
Yeah. Oh, man. And again, the City attack continues. Mahrez trying to find an opening here. Dishes it back into the midfield for Stones. Stones seeking out Laporte. Laporte out wide. I believe that's to Cancelo. Cancelo tries to be tricky, but the ball goes out for a throw-in.
A Man City throw-in, which is given straight back to Cancelo. Can he get the ball in this time? Absolutely not. But they do get the... They do get the corner. It looks like Alanga's trained so hard down that wing when he was meant to be the target man. Little bit weird, but at least he's showing some passion and effort and dispossessed Cancelo both times then.
This is going to be a tricky one here for United. Can they defend this corner here from City? Foden's the one taking. It gets to that looks like we got to Stones, actually.
A little bit of head tennis. Finally down on the floor, and Man United try and clear it. Straight back to City around the halfway line. Mahrez Back to the defenders. Laporte. Or was it Rodri? I think it was Rodri.
Yep, Rodri. Rodri's got the ball now. He's about to find an opening here. It looks like he found... Man City is so calm on the ball. Even when Man United are pressing, Man City just relaxed. There's always a pass available, even if it's going back, and Man United have pinned Man City back into their own half, but so much room for City to play into. They have been so, I guess, dominant with the ball, and just so, I guess they're just so skilled with it. You even had Bernardo Silva back playing center back for a solid minute, just trying to keep the ball moving and being available.
Mm-hmm.
De Bruyne going out wide here for Mahrez. Mahrez cutting inside.
Has a shot himself, and that's a really good save by De Gea.
City still maintain the ball. Elanga trying to get the ball off of Grealish, hunting him down. Grealish finds just a workaround here. And
that Grealish Foden combination, cutting Elanga out of the game and pushing Grealish back forward. Nothing really come of it, but again, Man City not putting in that much effort, but able to get a really good save out of De Gea, and all from the trickery of Mahrez.
Mm-hmm.
Another City corner. Whipped in, deeper this time. Again, Man United are able to get rid.
Pogba down for the foul.
I didn't think there was much in that foul. But Man United come away with the free kick, and Maguire looks to punt it forward.
Maguire starts things off here by passing to Lindelof. Lindelof sheepishly passes it to Wan-Bissaka. It went wide, and it looked like it was for Elanga, perhaps.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a bit of a collision there. Ball
Pep
goes
Guardiola, to say his team are winning, he looks really frustrated. It'd be interesting to be a fly on the wall at what's irking him about this Man City team, because for me, they've played Man United off the park for big periods of this game.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's because of the lack of energy. They should potentially be three goals up by now.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only thing that comes to my mind is City, for as good as they are, they look like they're not at that top gear.
Yeah, costed.
But at the same time, United look like they're trying to fight their way out of a paper bag and struggling to make it out.
And I don't know if you're getting the same video feed as we are in the UK, but we've just had a Man City fan in a shiny NASA jumper with a big sombrero on.
Yeah, I saw that. I don't know what the story is there, but if the sombrero if the sombrero wearing Manchester City fan wants to ever join us live here on Radio Tekkers, I would love to to talk with them.
Graham departing. Okay, gents, got to catch up on some things. Was a pleasure as always. The pleasure is always ours, sir. Thank you for coming in, shaking up the chat, causing grief, and then walking away as if you've done nothing wrong.
Indeed.
Thank you for that.
It's always special when Graham joins us in the chat.
It certainly is. Thank you very much, sir.
United threatened with the corner.
Long range effort comes to nothing because the blue wall of City is solid. United still have the ball though as they look to press into the box. Langer's now switched to the opposite wing, takes a deflection, comes off and almost drops for Alex Telles to volley home, but it's blocked for a corner.
Yeah,
Langer all over the park, though, to be fair. I mean, I've seen him at full back on the left. I've seen him attacking down on the right. Yeah, he's He's there every man this game so far.
Yeah, I mean that's something interesting about
Corner whipped in. Oh, Maguire could have been turned from villain to hero then.
and he knows he could have done better here as
he looks like he's aged so much in the last 18 months, Maguire. He looks like an old man.
Matt says in the chat, having been to NASA, I didn't see any tire being sold there that was that bright. They were selling sombreros, though.
They were selling sombreros at NASA. You'll have to elaborate on that, Matt.
I'm not sure if I believe this story or not.
They weren't selling a NASA jumper or sweater, as the Americans will call it, but they were definitely selling a NASA sombrero because of all the Spanish and Mexicans that have gone up into space. Maybe El Guapo when he went on the Apollo 13 mission.
Gentlemen, thank you for joining our marketing meeting here today. We wanted to inform you that the bright hooded sweatshirts, they're not selling so well, but the sombreros,
we can't keep them in stock. Ever since we started having Taco Tuesday at the NASA headquarters, we can't keep enough sombreros in the stores. Brilliant.
You gotta get the sombrero. It's out of this world.
Arriba.
Oh goodness. All right. Well, that's the first half. Lots of excitement from both sides. Some good goals. City, while they've dominated, obviously Pep is seeing something here that he's not really liking.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas I think that United have looked the far more energetic team, but they don't seem to be getting anything out of it here, Mags. So what's with this duality here?
Yeah, it's something that we've seen with City for the last 18 months easily, maybe going further than that, where they do enough to win games, but not enough to look like absolute world beaters. It's very it's a paradox to watch because they're so hard to beat, but look inanely beatable. Look like they win by the skin of the teeth, where Man United have had a lot of passion, especially in the early few minutes. It kind of dropped off when they went one down and then picked back up once they got the equaliser. They've had only 40% of the ball compared to City, had half of the shots at 5 compared to City's 10, and have only had 2 on target compared to City's 5 on target. But you always feel that when Man United went forward, a goal was a potential. With City, the way they kind of like saunter forward, sometimes you don't feel that the passion is there for there to be a goal. Then they'll just turn it up a gear for 5 seconds, and all of a sudden there's a chance there. And De Bruyne has been really good at taking those chances. I think Phil Foden's had a particularly decent game, and Mahrez, whilst he was pretty quiet first half, when he sprung into life, Man United really struggled to deal with him. I still think there's plenty of twists and turns left in this game. Man United have a lot of positives coming out of that. I think Alanga's passion is one. Maybe needs to kind of focus more on being in one position than being all over the pitch. Pogba is showing a lot of passion as well, but I think you made a great point earlier in the commentary that we need to see more of them pressing as a unit rather than one person chasing the ball. That's where you're going to get success in this strikerless gegenpress formation that they've gone with. Either that, or you bring on Rashford, inject that pace, inject that goal threat, and see where you go from there.
So in other news here, since we've got halftime, I know we've got the volley coming up tomorrow, and that's typically the time where you and Matt go over the results from the previous week. But let's cover just a little bit of stuff that maybe might go under the radar a little bit here. Being an American, I find this to be quite interesting here. Jesse Marsch, the brand new Leeds United head coach, he's left RB Salzburg in favor of coaching this Leeds United team post Marcelo Bielsa. Mags, did you have a chance to really check out Leeds and Leicester?
I've seen highlights of it.
Okay.
I was actually quite impressed with Leeds, to be fair. Under the last few games with Bielsa, they've struggled for formation. Bielsa has a very kind of a singularity focus on football. It's one way or no way. This Leeds, I felt, had a lot more diversity in them. They had a lot more of the ball. They had a lot more chances. I think they actually outmatched Leicester on shots by 3-1 almost. The issue was that there was one goal in it, and that came to Leicester and came to Harvey Barnes. So there's certainly it showed an improvement over the last few games, at least in terms of leaking goals. But I hope that they do fall against Burnley. I hope they do get dragged into that relegation zone because Burnley didn't do too well this week, which we'll talk about on the volley. But I saw a lot of positives from Leeds in this result.
I think that there's definitely something to work with here with Leeds. Jesse Marsch, obviously, and I'll do an error correction myself. He formerly of both Salzburg and Leipzig, departed Leipzig in December. But obviously, with his availability, he was able to come on in and replace the much beloved Marcelo Bielsa.
He was touted a couple of years ago for the Bayern job. Didn't end up getting it. So he's got chops and not a lot of love online for Jesse Marsch. A lot of fans not really happy with him being given the job. Maybe that's because it is Bielsa and he does kind of have this passionate fan base behind him. You either love him or detest him. But yeah, like I said, I think that the change in formation was a big thing straight away. I think they went 4-2-2, 4-2-2-2, rather than the standard Bielsa style formation. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see over the next few weeks whether Leeds can kind of recover from the heartbreaking losses that they've had. I mean, that can just shatter your kind of your performance. It can make you realise that you perhaps aren't staying in this league, and hopefully Jesse Marsch can kind of instill a little bit of confidence in the players.
That's I mean, there's lots to unpack there as far as the relegation race. The relegation race actually seems to be just as popular, if not more so, than the actual title race itself. I mean, we've got obviously Leeds, Everton, Burnley's picking up steam. Watford and Norwich are almost certainly looking to possibly go down here, but they're still in touching distance with the likes of Everton and Burnley and Leeds. It's going to be very
and even
Brentford
though Brentford
is not safe.
they did pick up a win. Props to Brentford for that, but they're still 6 points in front of Burnley, and Burnley have still got 2 games in hand on Brentford, so they can easily be dragged back into that mire. So it's still very open. It is in Burnley's hands. Their own safety is in Burnley's hands. They do have to pick up some victories against some big teams, which I'm not fully confident on. But with the form of Everton, with the form of Leeds, we do have the possibility of surviving.
Let's switch gears here just a little bit. We'll talk about some Champions League, some rapid fire Champions League thoughts here, Mags. So I'm going to throw out some fixtures to you, and I want to know kind of what your gut instinct is telling you here. Okay.
Let's do it.
Okay. We've got Bayern Munich and RB Salzburg.
Now, if it was the Salzburg that had Patson Daka in that team,
Yeah.
who I stand on that pedestal. I respect him as the god that he is.
He's a really good striker.
Yeah, Bayern are gonna walk this game, aren't they?
It's 1-1 aggregate, but Bayern are heavy favorites.
Yeah, I was watching a Football Daily video. I think it was maybe yesterday, and they were talking about how Bayern's form is that they've lost 2 in the last 8, which for any other team would be great form, but for Bayern, that's shocking. I can't see past Bayern going through in this one.
All right, so Mag's going Bayern. Liverpool Inter. Liverpool playing at home to Inter Milan.
Great result for Liverpool at the San Siro.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think Liverpool's name's on the cup, to be quite fair.
Ooh.
So I think easy victory for Liverpool. Maybe big game Dovik Origi, maybe get a hat trick. I'd like to see that.
Maybe a factor there. Google with a win probability of 61% to Liverpool here, so we'll see where that goes. Manchester City and one of my personal favorite clubs to really watch in the Champions League this year, Sporting Lisbon.
Is it because they leak goals like a faulty tap?
No, they just I mean, I guess I've appreciated Sporting Portugal more recently because of Football Manager and just because of all of the collection of really young, just really good prospects.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. I think City are kind of almost like a different beast in Europe than they are in the league. In the league, they win without trying. In Europe, they just destroy fools. Absolutely destroy. I think they 5 up in this leg already, going into a home fixture. Yeah, this could easily be a cricket score. You would expect another 5-0. So yeah,
Ooh.
I don't think Sporting have much of a chance.
Okay, so we're going Manchester City then, it seems. Here's a big one, Mags. Real Madrid and PSG.
And this is very tight. 1-0. I think PSG won in the home leg, going to the Bernabeu. Real Madrid looking to win on pretty much all fronts. The talk of the European Super League maybe being brought back in, fronted by Real Madrid again. Yeah, Real Madrid will win this, I think. It's a huge match, but I think Real Madrid are looking to press in Europe. Connor in the chat saying, let's go PSG. I just don't want PSG to win anything. I dislike when clubs just buy up all of the huge talent. I just get an instant hatred for them.
I feel like if you're like a football purist, like in its most honest form, yeah, I think that you would want both teams to lose that game. Manchester United hosts Atletico Madrid. Should be a spicy affair there. I believe the aggregate's 1-1, so it's all to play for on Tuesday.
It certainly is. And then I think later on in the week you've got RB Leipzig got a bar essentially into the next round because their match with Spartak Moscow was cancelled. There's some interesting UEFA Europa League games this weekend. I mean, Porto versus Lyon. That's going to be a really entertaining game. You've got Barca against Galatasaray. That should be a big game. You've got Rangers versus Red Star Belgrade. Rangers doing really well in this year's Europa League. Scottish teams tend to be knocked out pretty early on, but they're doing really well. But the tar of the round for me is Sevilla versus West Ham. That is going to be an interesting game to watch.
Very much so. Connor McCabe trying to throw it back to earlier conversation. What teams will get promoted next season? Well, looking at the championship here, and Mags, please do correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe
Fulham are walking away with it.
Yeah,
absolutely walking away with it.
If I'm not mistaken, it's the first and second go in immediately, and then there's a playoff between spots 3 through 6.
Yeah. So as it stands now, Fulham and Huddersfield occupy spots 1 and 2, but Bournemouth are in third. They have 4 games in hand over Huddersfield and are only 1 point behind them. So they're the massive clear favourites to go up in the automatics with Fulham. So then in the 6. I think Blackburn are probably a lock in to be in there. Huddersfield are probably a lock in to be in there. Then for the final spots, you're looking at QPR, Middlesbrough, and Sheffield United. Maybe even Luton if their form keeps up. So it'll be in between those. From the playoffs, I would probably think if we say Bournemouth and Fulham go up, I would say Huddersfield probably makes it. They're form-wise, they're absolutely killing it, which will be good for friend of the show, UTT Rob. He's a massive Huddersfield Terriers fan, so and it looks like Tanner froze then for a little bit.
I'm just stretching. Yeah.
Just that Texan dial-up internet.
Can you hear me now?
I could hear you. You just froze.
No,
the picture froze.
Stretching. Yeah, I'm doing.
And that affected your router for some strange reason. But yeah, so I'd say Fulham go up, Huddersfield go up, and probably Bournemouth go up. No, Fulham, Bournemouth, and Huddersfield.
We do have kickoff here for the second half now.
The game that we are actually here to watch is kick back off. Thanks for that, Connor, for distracting us, sir.
Oh, goodness.
And then Matt in the chat says he fully agrees with me about teams buying up the talent. He says, whilst PSG didn't pay for Messi, Gini, Ramos and Donnarumma, they still spent hundreds of millions on Hakimi and Pereira. And it's not so much the buying up players, it's the hoarding of players. As wrestling fans, we see that with what's happened at WWE and now what's kind of happening in AEW, where talent are being hoarded. So you can't see them unless they're at that show.
Rodri just full on bodied Fred to the ground there. Not
good on him. Good on him. Well played. Do it again, sir.
I feel like with PSG, the Messi hasn't turned out quite as well as I think that they really desired him to. Gini Wijnaldum,
the passion isn't there. That's why.
Yeah, Gini Wijnaldum's almost been a non-factor this season for PSG.
Same with Ramos.
Ramos has been a non-factor for sure. Donnarumma's still struggling to try and get wrestle the number 1 spot. I guess in all irony, the players that they've actually spent money on, Hakimi and Pereira, are actually probably the best of the bunch that they picked up this summer. Yep.
And that's always going to be a problem when you have superstar level players all the way through the team. You get you get attitudes, you get egos, you get players wanting to be the star of the show, and you need a manager who's able to control that. And I don't know if Poch is that guy.
I feel like that's one of those transitionary periods that City underwent for a long time, because they had that identity and that ethos under Mancini that kind of went a bit wayward for a moment. I can't remember the fellow's name. Pellegrini, thank you. They kind of lost that identity a little bit. And
I actually think he was a really good manager as well.
Very good manager. Pellegrini's a fantastic manager.
It's just if you compare him charisma-wise with Mancini and then Pep, he doesn't hold a torch to those guys. Yeah. But tactically, I think he's at least level with Mancini.
I would definitely agree with that. And then, of course, as you just mentioned, Pep Guardiola. I mean, I don't think that there's. I mean, there's very few. Good block there by McTominay. I feel like there's very few people who are as good as Pep Guardiola about instilling a particular ethos into a team. And I think that you're seeing that here with the way that City play now and the way that they carry themselves and their attitude on the pitch.
Yeah, I mean, he's the perfect kind of face manager that you would want for your club. Really good with the press, tactically elite level. Will always kind of instill a passion with his players that they can be perhaps better than the sum of their parts. I mean, who would have known that John Stones, for instance, would turn out to be such a solid defender and so fluid going forward? He seems to get more out of a player than they particularly could have got under another manager.
Matt says, objection, anyone would have won with the team that Pellegrini had. Would Roy Hodgson have won the league? Would Big Sam Allardyce,
Brendan Rodgers, would he have won the league?
Have won the league with the team that Pellegrini had? I mean, look, man.
Eddie Howe would he have won the league?
Howe? I mean, keep naming some managers. I mean, Big Sam probably. Arteta wouldn't have done it. Big Sam, I don't think. I think he's allergic to winning the league.
Klopp
would have definitely won the league with that Manchester City team. Yeah,
Brilliant.
I think he would still be there. He'd be on his third Champions League by now.
Oh, and yet Man City still can't win that big one.
Yeah, so I mean,
that must stick in Pep's craw. It must do. Of all the trophies he was brought in to win, the Champions League was the trophy, and he just cannot do it.
I think any time that he sees Klopp, I feel like he's just like he's got this
fucking hate
this
you
ringing in the back of his brain.
I mean, maybe that's why you see two different kind of approaches when it comes to Man City in Europe. They are killers in Europe, and maybe that's because Pep says we are fucking winning this Champions League, even if it kills you players. It won't affect me, but it'll kill you.
Matt again objecting in the chat.
Stop, Matthew. Stop.
Frank Lampard would not have won the league with the team that
Frank Lampard had unlimited. He had God mode on Football Manager set up. He spent half
£250 million,
and he couldn't stay in the job 6 months. He couldn't stay in the job 6 months with God mode switched on. He would not have won the league with that team. He couldn't win the league with the Chelsea team that he had, which was just unreally scary.
Which would probably have beaten the Pellegrini-led Manchester City squad from years ago.
It would have beaten the Invincibles.
It probably. I mean, maybe. I don't know.
So that was a quick backtrack. Probably. I mean, no. Roll that back. Whoa,
hold
too
on.
far.
The Invincibles? Yeah. The Arsene Wenger-led Invincibles? No, I'm sorry. Connor asked actually a poignant question. Will we cover the promotion playoff matchup? I believe yes. Probably so.
If you want to stick around and watch, then throw it in the chat, and if we are available, we will certainly try and cater to your needs.
It depends on, I guess, what the matchup. What other matchups are there? I mean, that's a big time.
I mean,
game.
Technically, that game is usually played on a Sunday anyway, which is prime Radio Tekkers streaming time, and it is the biggest game in world club football because the winner does get Premier League,
a lot of money. Mm-hmm. They get a lot of cash.
So it's. The potential is that we shall cover it. But as we get into this kind of like tail end of the season, and with all the big matches in terms of cups and European trophies, I'm sure we'll diversify away from Premier League on more than one occasion.
Probably. Yeah, sounds about right.
Especially if we get City and Liverpool in the Champions League final. Ooh. Oh, Matt's just dropped a bombshell. The Championship playoff final is the same day as the Champions League final, so it might have to be dual streaming back to backs. Clear your calendars, boys.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do that. That's gonna be spicy.
A City here on the attack. We're almost 10 minutes into this game, and we've literally mentioned
about it.
one chance, but Mahrez there with a half chance, defended pretty well though. City, to be fair, in this opening 8 minutes or so, they have turned up the tempo quite a lot, feeling a lot more decisive on attack.
I feel like this is something really consistent with what happens when we watch Manchester City games, is that they just dominate so hard that it's just like, okay, well, there's another passage of play here.
Maguire with a big header clear of that corner. Ball flicked off though, and we're getting another corner now. That was a good clearance by Maguire. I've got to give him props on that one. Looks like a short corner taken this time. City trying to work across the box. Cancelo, low whipped in, cleared pretty easily. Can Man United make anything of the ball? Absolutely not. And Foden is dispossessed. Can he pick somebody up? Nope, absolutely not. 5 Man United defenders in the way there. And the ball is cleared back straight away to Man City again. Attacking down this near side with Grealish now. Grealish and Cancelo are forming a pretty good partnership down that side. It's just a shame that when Sterling's ready, Grealish will be dropped like a hot shit.
I mean, Grealish is playing a bit further into the midfield than the supposed attacking forwards, but I think that's just the hallmark of the Pep Guardiola side, is that you can really have anybody anywhere, and
it's very Dutch, very kind of 1970s Dutch.
Oh yeah, it's very total football.
Foden will be kicking himself with that with that pass.
Yeah, I'm not quite
sure.
He
had 3 people to aim at and missed everybody. Ended up passing to the Man United defenders.
Well, I feel like he could have easily rounded the ball past Lindelof there as well for a shot on goal. I feel like he was close enough to slot one home.
So we've got a City free kick now, close to the touchline. Looks like Foden and De Bruyne are over it. Oh, we're getting some warm-ups, and the crowd going absolutely wild for Zinchenko. Great reception that he and Mikalenko got the other day. Really kind of proud of British fans. Then they haven't given us a lot to be proud of with how they've acted recently, especially with missiles being thrown again onto the pitch. But yeah, the way that they treat Zinchenko and Mikalenko, I thought was really good.
Indeed, and I think the reception for Ukrainian players all around Europe and the world, Ukrainian athletes, has been quite just really heartfelt. Right? Really impressed with I guess the outpouring of love for Ukraine and Ukrainian athletes.
Yep, absolutely. I mean, we Tekkers try to steer clear of politics as best we can. I mean, there are much more well-informed creators that will give you information on this, but we will say that we definitely support a peaceful end to this invasion. The loss of life is something that just doesn't sit well with us. So hopefully cooler heads will prevail pretty soon, and we can get back to recovering from the hell that has been COVID.
Indeed, and I fully, I fully agree with everything Mags just said. It's it's just so heartbreaking, everything that's going on right now in that part of the world.
And Connor, to change the subject, says, I hate to kill the mood, but did you guys see the news yesterday coming out of Mexico and what happened at a football match? So, yeah, apparently, was it the Querétaro and Atlas fans ended up with a mass brawl, and there's been 2 people killed and 22 injured.
Yeah.
Oof, yeah. Those Mexican ultras, they're a different breed.
Yeah, I mean, it's a hotly contested matchup. Obviously, it's, tragic anytime that, something like that happens at a sporting event of all places. But, I mean, it's just, things seemingly got far more out of hand than what was necessary. And it's tragic.
I think the match was actually abandoned after about an hour.
Yep.
Because of the trouble in the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
I think Atlas are they the reigning champions down there in Mexico as well. So not a good look for your champions to be involved in brawls like this.
Manchester United seemingly with a counter there just a moment ago. They found Elanga, but the ball went right over Ederson there.
Good defending, though, by Manchester City. Elanga looked very isolated there going forward. I think it might be the time to be thinking about maybe switching up for Man United, bringing on another attacking threat. Looking at their squad, you don't see a lot of options outside of Rashford. I mean, you've got Eric Bailly, Phil Jones, Juan Mata. You've got Lingard, who you could bring on, and then Dalot, Matic, Henderson, and Medjugorje. So there's not a lot of attacking changes that can be made outside of Rashford and perhaps Lingard.
I mean, Rashford and Lingard might be they're pretty solid. I mean, oh, this isn't good. Referee inquiring as to whether or not there's actually foul there for Mahrez. It kind of looked like he slipped and Maguire just happened to be in the way. I think here we're getting a replay. Fred coming in behind Mahrez. That's where the foul comes in.
I don't think there's a lot of contact by Fred, though. Mahrez certainly does make a meal of it, but Maguire sticking the boot in right at the end looks a little bit sketchy. But City have got the free kick. I think Foden was kind of maybe pushing for a booking more than anyone, and nearly talked himself into a booking of his own.
Mm-hmm. We've got the wall here, and Maguire being the leader that he is, he can't look. He's too afraid to take this head on.
No. La 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 la.
But in all seriousness, we've got Jadon Sancho laying down across the ground here. Again, the new tactical kind of thing here that we've noticed this season.
I don't get it. I don't think there's enough daisy cutter shots to warrant someone laying down. But there is a daisy cutter shot there. De Bruyne does find some space in that wall, but De Gea is more than a match to it.
Mm-hmm.
Matt in the chat, interesting. I've not seen a lot of this take, but he's saying some people have been linking Rashford to Liverpool. Interesting idea, but Liverpool are already incredibly overloaded in that position. If Liverpool did make improvements, it's certainly not needed in the forward lineup unless you are losing Salah and Mane. But even then, I think you've got an abundance of quality forwards. Maguire actually showing some passion, and for his passion, picks up a booking.
See this?
How dare you be passionate, motherfucker? Take this yellow card. It was a poorly timed tackle.
Matt, this is why you don't ask your patients about transfer rumors. I feel like this is why would where
Some people, yeah, Marge on Ward 6.
Where are you getting that Rashford's headed to Liverpool? I've never seen this rumor.
I'm gonna check Twitter now because we know Matt for being maybe a little bit economical with the truth, shall we say? Not calling him a liar, but he does talk shit.
I'm gonna call Matt a liar right now. Matt, you're lying. I feel like you're making this up.
Watch it be friend of the show Fabrizio Romano.
Fabrizio Romano, Marcus Rashford to Liverpool is on. Wow, that would be.
So I've just done a search for Rashford and Liverpool on Twitter. First post that comes up is Rashford doesn't track back and Liverpool's wingers work hard, and then it's got some heat maps of Rashford actually tracking back and the wingers of Liverpool not working hard. But the interesting one is the last time Rashford scored against Man City, Liverpool went on to win the league. So here's where Matt has got it from. So Liverpool Echo, who are an interesting read, but they do throw a lot of shit at the wall with very little substance. They claim that Liverpool legend John Barnes says that Marcus Rashford would be a good fit at Liverpool. He believes he wouldn't move there, and has also stressed rumours suggesting a bid for West Ham's forward Jared Bowen are wide of the mark. But yeah, basically it's John Barnes saying that Marcus Rashford is a good player. and the Liverpool Echo have milked that into transfer confirmed.
Did Liverpool Echo milk that into transfer confirmed, or did Matt milk that?
Well, a little bit from column A and a little bit from column B.
So we do in fact have Lingard and Rashford on. Pogba and Elanga have been subbed off. So we'll see how this change of dynamics works here now. And
I feel a bit bad on Elanga. I don't think he's had a terrible game. I just think he's been so all over the park that he hasn't been able to thrive in one particular position. But yeah, switching for Lingard and Rashford it's the sensible move. Pogba, interesting move to take off. I thought he's had perhaps a better game than say Fernandes. I think he's shown more passion than he's shown recently. But Rangnick, let's have faith in him and his gegenpress. I love it. But yeah, at least Man United have now got a striker on the pitch.
Yeah, I mean, Ilanga's still a very young guy. I mean, he's got a long career ahead of him. Let's be cognizant of that. This is a big match for him.
Oh yeah, and Man United do have history of getting young forwards who have really good starts to their careers and then tail off pretty quickly. The likes of Federico Macheda, for instance, Januzaj, all kind of started brightly. Dan James started started really brightly and then kind of quickly found their level. So hopefully that doesn't happen with Elanga, because there's a lot of potential there with him.
There's one name that we're missing, but because of the law, I suppose that we can't actually talk about him.
I mean, that player, I think he had all of the potential. He had the potential to be a leading land, not only for club but for country as well. But he's also an absolute disgusting sexual predator. So fuck him.
There you go, folks.
Wan-Bissaka giving away the corner there. Grealish looking a little bit tired. Looks like he could do with a shower and a hot drink. He'll be off to the soup kitchen pretty much after this game's finished.
straight after this, and then tucking into his sleeping bag,
in the dumpster,
under the bridge,
covering himself in pizza boxes and crying himself to sleep whilst masturbating.
Jeez.
Oh, and as we say that is a belter of a goal from Mahrez.
Riyad Mahrez with just an amazing shot here. I would say,
stemming from that corner that homeless Grealish created. I wonder if Grealish ever hopes for a win bonus so he can at least book into a hotel for the night. I think the Manchester hotels turn him away. They've got a do not serve policy for homeless Grealish. It's a really deep corner though. Caught well by Mahrez on the edge of the box. I think it's on the volley. Bang,
Yep.
Yeah, on the volley.
Bang.
Low into the corner. De Gea fuming again.
Hell of a goal.
It takes a little deflection as well.
Off
And
of
who does
Harry
it?
Maguire.
Who does it deflect off? Of course. Old slabhead himself. What a pillock. He's the enemy of Manchester United. I honestly think that he's getting paid by Man City.
He's undercover.
He's had a terrible game.
Undercover
Jesus
agent
Christ.
Harry Maguire. Dude. Hey, they gotta drop him. They have to drop him.
Yeah.
When are they gonna drop him?
How are the rest of the Man United players not going into his room at night with some socks and soaps and just beating the shit out of him?
I was gonna say I don't want to be a bully here and say that they need to slap him.
We do not condone bullying on
but
this
Mags is talking about putting quarter rolls in socks and smacking him about the head.
Just a little bit of Full Metal Jacket action. Someone hold the quilt down so he can't escape, and everyone just gets a wallop with the soaps in a sock.
It's just
It's been woeful. Yeah.
I don't care if he's captain. I don't care how much you paid for him. You have to drop him now. This is ridiculous. If
his confidence is so low. He didn't commit to blocking the shot, and that's the problem. He because he didn't commit, he didn't get full contact, and he had the deflection. With the other two goals, he was absolutely upended.
Rashford was dancing towards goal, but was blocked off there. I'm sorry for interrupting, Mags.
No, I'm just saying how poor that Maguire has been. He's been at fault he's been partly to blame for all three of Man City's goals. Was absolutely nowhere near De Bruyne for the first one. In fact, blocked the view of De Gea. For the second one, he was put on his arse by De Bruyne, and for the third one, it's his deflection that takes it past De Gea. He's not having a good season. He's not a good captain. Yeah, I agree with you 100%. The guy does need to be dropped.
I would rather see Phil Jones out there with Lindelof.
And
Phil Jones could at least be part of an organized defense, it seems.
And this is coming from someone who wasn't a massive Phil Jones fan, basically because he's a Blackburn guy. But he does at least work hard for the team. Yeah, he's clumsy. Yeah, he looks like an idiot a lot of the times. But he does work hard. Maguire's just not doing that.
It's just, I don't know. Something has to happen. Enough has to be enough here at this point.
But as Matt says in the chat, ball game, that is over. Good night, Marge. Here's your call. Any more transfer rumours you want to throw out, Marge? Like Salah to Brentford. Is that happening?
On a free.
Oh, that'd be a good pickup.
That would be a good pickup for Brentford, for sure. Geez, I can't even imagine.
I mean, Eriksen and Salah linking together. That'd be Salah's pace would give Eriksen another heart attack just by watching him.
Yeah. Kenny Dalglish to be striker for Leeds United. Yeah. That's another rumor I hear.
I think
been
that one
told to
may have been
Matt.
started by you.
Yeah,
That may have been started by yourself, sir. Have you got a source for that?
What's the sauce? Let's see here. Connor McCabe says Phil Jones is the GOAT.
I mean, he's certainly memeable. But I remember seeing him at City looking to plough forward and get a fourth. Mahrez, yet again, De Gea with a good close range says, yeah, I remember Phil Jones got incessantly mocked on Twitter for his rubber face and his clowning on the pitch. But then I read an interview he did and how I think somebody had spoken to or seen his wife in town and said, "Oh, it must be horrible being married to Phil Jones for him being so shit at football," and it really affected him. It's like. Essentially, we've spoken about it multiple times. It's cyberbullying. The guy was really affected by the hate that he gets online, and all he wanted to do was play football and earn a living for his family. And he was roundly abused for looking like he was made out of rubber and trying to head a ball. It was clearly at foot height.
Which, I mean, that actually takes, to be fair, quite a bit of balls to do. Is to use your head when
as a foot.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you felt like you had no other choice but to head the ball from the floor while another person's foot is coming at you with full-on cleats and everything. Yeah, that's
City with a low-cutting free kick into the box. It pings about a little bit, but Man United are able to come away with it. But then there's just a flood of sky blue shirts, wins the ball back, and that's the Man United pressure done again. Yeah, we'll get into the last 15 minutes of this, and it is game over. City now just have to hold and coast, and if there's one thing that they're good at doing, it's holding and coasting.
Well, let's not forget, I mean, it wasn't that long ago when we watched Manchester United last time out against Leeds that they sprung up and picked up some late goals. So
very, very true. So, yeah, it's not over till the referee blows his whistle.
Yeah, very true. I mean, I can't see it happening here, but I mean,
to be fair, I see City adding more goals to their tally.
Yeah, this could just be a riot here from City. Grealish out wide.
Back into the middle. Look, again, City just relaxed, calm on the ball. No wasted energy.
Bernardo, who is on paper playing at striker, is now at left back.
I mean, we've just got a stats board up on the screen here in the UK. Man United have had 0 shots at all in this second half to compare to City's 15, and they've had 4 touches in the opposition half, which is shocking, and 27% of the ball altogether. Yeah, City just turn it up that one little notch, and we know full well that they've got even more energy in reserve. This is City at level 2, and they're cruising in this game. Grealish takes it off for oh no, it wasn't Grealish. Apologies, calling homeless Grealish there. But City do take the ball off for an easy goal kick.
Here's kind of where things stand right now in terms of the league standings. Obviously, Manchester City up top, 69 points. Liverpool right behind them, 63 points. Chelsea in third, 53 points. And, of course, with this result here, Arsenal remain in fourth with 48 points. Now, here is where things get really depressing, I guess, if you're a Manchester United fan. Manchester United have played more games than Liverpool, Chelsea, and Arsenal.
And Tottenham.
And Tottenham.
They're only 5 points clear of Tottenham right now. But Tottenham have 3 games in hand, which is a potential 9 points. So I mean, the fourth place, it is in Arsenal's hands. If they win their 3 games in hand over Man United and West Ham, they walk away with it. They potentially go up to third. So, yeah, this result is not good for Man United's Champions League aspirations.
Arsenal could be coming back to the Champions League.
Whereas Man United might be in the conference. Can you imagine going to Bordeaux Glimt for an away game, or to Randers,
and then still losing on penalties to Villarreal in the finals?
Going to Levski Sofia, of all places. Oof, Jesus. They're facing the champions of Luxembourg, whoever they are, and they struggle to get a draw at Old Trafford.
It would just be the epitome of just how low things have gotten for Manchester United.
And it's all the fault of Ralf Rangnick and his stupid gegenpress. Living in the fucking dark ages.
I mean, I don't think you even see Klopp really using much of a gegenpress anymore. He's really kind of...
I mean, when your forward lineup are 3 of the fastest players that have ever lived in the history of the world, you don't really need to press. You just need to give them the ball and say, go!
You just need to be fast. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thing.
We're seeing Gundogan come on. Kevin De Bruyne going off. Who's he giving? Yeah, just doesn't give the captain's armband to Grealish whatsoever. He's like, Grealish went in for the hug, hoping he would get the captain's armband. He's like, nope, absolutely not. Grealish. Gives it to Gundogan.
Seriously, do you have some money for that I can
spare change?
Spare change.
And he's like, I've not got my wallet. Where have I put my wallet?
It's in my other shorts.
Wow, why is Grealish become the point of ridicule for this show? It's almost like a whole tag where he just gets abused, or whole Helen tag. Rodriguez.
Oh man!
10 minutes to go now. City building from the back.
Yeah, I mean it's amazing that John Stones is not the worst defender on the pitch this game.
I mean, there's 2 players in red that are worse defenders than him.
I would say by a large margin. Yeah.
Yeah. Maguire and Lindelof are making Stones look like a mature England international. Ironically, but Maguire that'll play for England more, which is shocking. Now we are getting Man City are getting cocky now.
Joao Cancelo with
he had so much time to bring that ball down and get a proper shot off, but instead he tries the scissor kick.
Goes brilliant. For the spectacular.
And he didn't actually get too far away. A pretty easy save for De Gea, but it was certainly on target.
I feel like Walker and Cancelo have worked that out on the pitch a few times. In training.
You can definitely see them two talking and saying, if we get a 2-goal cushion, let's see if we can try some spectaculars.
Fernandes
bullied off the ball, but then bullies back, and he's fuming because he actually did foul somebody.
It's a foul. Yeah.
Getting very, very angry with the referee there, though.
Mm-hmm. Wow, look at this. A replay of Cancelo's attempt with the scissor kick.
It's not a bad attempt. A little bit more power, and maybe it would have gone into the top corner, but he had so much time as well.
Yeah, it's like Wan-Bissaka's like, hey, what are you doing over there, buddy?
Yeah, hit it. Wan-Bissaka's like, go on, hit it.
Come on. You got this.
I believe in you.
Oh my God. Harry Maguire.
He fell over when there was nobody there.
He fell over and almost did the splits.
How? The ball wasn't even near him.
Unimpeded. He almost fell over into the split.
I despair. I absolutely despair. This is England's best centre back, allegedly. Just
he needs to go.
Yeah,
Thanks for the memories, but it's
agree.
Time to go.
And this is a great Maisie run. I think it was Gundogan. I can't even really make out who it was, but Man City player ripping into the United defence.
Well, Scott McTominay was more competent right there at centre back than Maguire was. Heck, and he plays for Scotland at centre back internationally, so why not throw him back there?
Yeah, exactly.
Scott McTominay and Phil Jones at center back would be much better than what we're seeing here right now.
Yikes. I mean, that's not a good team, is it?
I mean, how could it be worse than this?
That's the cutting blow. That it couldn't be worse.
This is just mermazing. I just don't even know.
And you took it out of your name as well now. What a shame. I'll slide that back in a little while. Grealish again down this wing. He's had a really, really good game.
He's galloping quickly with the ball, not because he wants a shot in, but because he doesn't want anybody to smell him.
Is this coming from Marge again?
I
don't believe that this is true.
Matt Willis in the chat saying Harry Maguire's been offered a new 5-year contract worth £250,000 a week. Think of all the other things that you could do for £250,000 a week.
That's
besides
£1 million a month. That's £12 million a year.
Yeah, there's
13 with 52 weeks. £13 million a year.
There's much
spent
better
on
things
the worst defender in the team
that you can do. Much better things that you can do than spending £1 million a month on hiring Harry Maguire. I don't think I would hire Harry Maguire for $1 million a month to do anything. Like it's
no. I mean, what could he do? I mean, I wouldn't pay him apprentice wages.
Here's $5.
In fact, you owe me $5 every minute that you're on that pitch. You have to pay $5. I don't believe that's true.
I feel like United.
Fans... look, there is just bullshitting again. Matt coming with the bullshit. Not true yet, but how much do you reckon? It won't happen. Zero. It will happen.
It won't. They will actually release him before
they give him. So the
Man
City fans are bouncing, absolutely bouncing,
nailing United with the Poznan here, or Poznan, I believe is what Dan called it earlier. Oriana, the
corner
draw.
whip through.
Ori's joined us.
Changing your name up, Ori.
She's saying
that goes off-brand.
Manchester City is winning, right? Yes.
Winning at a canter, but there will be extra time and penalties. So we'll be recording in about 3 hours or
it's going to be about
stick around
6 p.m. local time until we actually get around to recording a change in attitude. We're going to have to miss all of Revolution. You can't watch it because you're going to have to record.
It does look like a really good show, though.
I mean, it's a stacked card. So my condolences for missing that show. Because we're
do you see Adam Cole as the next champion? Do you think it happens? Interesting. I don't know if it does. I think
I don't think it will. I think you could take it in a really interesting direction if it does. But I don't think it will.
And the Bucks get their shot at the titles again, don't they?
Yeah, it's the Bucks and Red Dragon actually challenging Jurassic Express.
It's got to be fishing.
Schmoz.
Yeah, fishing or O'Reilly have got to win that. I mean, they won't. Jurassic Express are probably going to return, and like you said, it's going to be a Smoz finish to kind of continue that feud between Red Dragon and the Bucks.
I feel like we're going to have a civil war here soon where Kenny will be back.
Elite versus Super Click.
Basically. That's what they should name it. Is the Super Click instead of Undisputed Era. I mean, they can't use Undisputed Era, and I think there was the rumor that they were going to use some other name for that trio, but I don't know. It just doesn't seem right.
The unquestionable Eon.
Yeah, there you go. If they could just get Roddy back, they could go. They could maybe make it Mount Rushmore again, perhaps.
Wasn't that Kevin Owens?
That was Kevin Owens. That was the original Mount Rushmore. Maybe
not a man, sir. He doesn't
make
it a man.
And then it was Mount Rushmore 2.0, which was Roderick Strong and Young Bucks.
It's so good. I mean, I'm not a big proponent of WWE wrestlers making the jump to AEW, but I would happily see Roddy Strong in AEW.
Oh yeah. Ooh, Mahrez almost with another fine goal here. Finds Smelly Grealish.
Oh, poor Jack Grealish. He's played so well. I mean, and
Gundogan's going to be kicking himself for not finishing that one.
And Grealish will be fuming that he was made captain, and he scuffed that shot after all Grealish's hard work.
Ori with some slander here in the chat, just pure lies. Says that AEW Revolution is going to be better than the dog show that we watched.
How dare you? How dare you, Ori?
I completely disagree. That dog show was a real piece of history, and I feel like everybody should tune in, listen to a Change in Attitude here in a couple weeks when that episode drops.
And I don't think people understand just how. I mean, it's very much not wrestling based. We get that, but it shows how important that dog show was for US TV. That one of the most important moments in WWF Raw history was bumped to a Thursday because of some dogs parading around a ring and being voted on how good they look.
It was at Madison Square Garden. They paid a heavy fee to be there,
Oh, and it's 4.
Oh, my.
And it's... Or has it been called offside? Oh, no, offside. Mahrez almost doubling his tally there. Power shot as well. And again, the Man United defence just in pieces. Absolute pieces.
Lost. Look at all the space between Maguire and Lindelof.
So, yeah, he was inches offside, but...
Maguire actually gets in Tellez's way. What is this? What?
He's awful. He's truly, truly awful. He's making things worse for Man United.
I just wish that Sai was in the chat. That's all a man can.
Oh, we're checking and.
Oh, man.
Are we saying that the knee of the
Lindelof may have kept him on?
The knee looks like it's there for Lindelof or perhaps the foot. So we need to see where the contact is made. Yeah, the foot is definitely there. That is a goal. That is a goal. Lindelof's foot is there.
We're going to find out here momentarily. There's really only about 30 seconds left in extra time.
It's foot versus arm, essentially, and you can't score a goal with the arm. That's a goal. Yeah. It's a goal. What a way to end this game.
Wow.
Did
City even make any substitutes?
Not one.
I guess Gundogan, yeah.
Oh, yeah, Gundogan, yeah, correct.
Yeah.
And there's the green line, onside. That means it's a goal. Boom. Yeah, what a way to end this game. Like Tanner said, there's seconds left in extra time, and that is just a killer blow. 2 goals for Mahrez, well-deserved goals as well.
Grealish having a word with Mahrez, congratulating him, and Mahrez, get the hell away from me.
Fucking hell. Woo! Speak that way. Oh. Thanks. Yeah, it was a really good goal.
Did you pass out at a curry house last night? Like, what happened here?
Did you sleep in the actual dumpster? Oh wait, yes, you did.
Grealish the Grouch.
As Grealish powers forward, looking to... What the hell was that? that was a foul in slow motion by Fred.
Gundogan brought down by Fred in the slowest fashion possible.
It was almost like when you see videos of people falling over on ass.
And the ref's going to give it to City here in extra time.
Oh, the scenes if it's 5. The absolute scenes.
City put 5 past United here in extra time. Let's find out.
Whipped in.
Foden.
Cleared. Headed out, but City retain on the edge of the box.
McTominay, again, the best defender for United on the day.
Punted away, and it's all done.
That should be it. That should be game over right here.
The referee says no. We're getting the throw in, it looks like. But we're seeing a lot of the ball being held up. Pep just literally staring blankly into space. Has he been hypnotised? I think Pep is thinking he's a chicken.
Pep's like, gotta get some bread. Pick up the paper.
Pep shakes his hand with Rangnick. Quick ha ha ha, fuck you. And away we go.
Pep's like, I gotta go to the grocery store. Oh man, big day for Riyad Mahrez here, as City just lay waste to Manchester United. Juan Mata, who we hardly get to see any of nowadays, he was on the bench today. Congratulated Kevin De Bruyne. Yeah, this is just.
And just as he's finished crying into his beer, Sa pops up in the chat. Sa, what were your opinions on this result? Who do you lay the blame at? For me, it's Maguire. He was at fault for pretty much everything. I think he should be hung from a bridge.
By his feet. By
his ankles.
Yeah.
Or neck.
Jeez.
No. He was terrible. He was genuinely terrible. At fault for all of the goals. He was
literally all 4 goals.
For all 4 of the goals, he was the major factor that helped City.
Wow.
He claims that this United were okay in the first half. Yeah, I mean, they were better. They were certainly demolished in the second half.
Scored a goal.
They at least had shots, which is something that second half Man United struggled to do.
And then City just completely just put them to the sword in the second half.
So Connor's saying, so I'm going to come after you for not being present in this beatdown from City tomorrow on Chain Wrestling. Sai has already said that he won't come on this show because he doesn't like our opinions. He thinks that we all talk shit, which is fair. We do.
I mean, yeah. I mean, that's kind of the purpose of the show is for us to express our opinion, just like Sai expresses his opinion about very old wrestling on Chain Wrestling.
That's not an opinion. That is a fact, sir. So it's all done, but bar the shouting in the Manchester derby, and the blue side of Manchester sits atop with the bragging rights. Another demolition from City, who didn't. Again, and it bears repeating, they didn't get out of second gear. They didn't need to put in huge amounts of effort and still walk away with a very, very comfortable 4-1 win. Tanner, man of the match. Please say Maguire. Please, the fuck say Maguire.
I mean, if it wasn't for Harry Maguire, City wouldn't have scored 4 goals. I mean, that's about as simple as you can have it, really, right? Like he basically assisted City in 2 goals. It's got to be one of either De Bruyne or Riyad Mahrez. You could argue that Mahrez deserves it a little bit more because of how spectacular his goals were. You could really go either way here, I think.
Yeah, well, the official man of the match was De Bruyne. 2 goals out from his 6 chances. I tend to agree with you. Mahrez also, I thought, had a fairly quiet first half, but certainly came alive in that second half. But I'm actually gonna go a different way. I'm gonna go for someone who has been bullied by us all the way throughout the show, but I thought he's had actually a really good performance. I'm gonna go with a smelly, homeless Jack Grealish.
He just slicks his hair back using just like
chip fat grease.
Yeah, leftover mayonnaise sauces left in the chip basket.
Off mayonnaise, jeez, lumpy mayonnaise.
This was bottom line the one of the most. I can't say the most disgraceful performance United had this season, but it's up there. This is,
and they started so bright though. That first 5 minutes, you felt that maybe there was something in this strikerless formation, but once City scored and then got the second goal, Man United they collapsed, and that second half was typical of Man United over the last 6 to 8 weeks, where they put in a decent performance one half, second half they just don't perform whatsoever, and City didn't even need to try to be able to capitalise on it.
Yeah, I mean, there's there's not really like proper words for how bad United were today. It's just it's bad. This is a bad team. United need better players than this, especially at center back. Lindelof was shocking. Maguire probably had his worst performance to date.
And he's had a lot of bad performances.
Yeah, he literally assisted City in 4 goals. It's just awful. This was a bad game.
You hit the nail right on the head. It was terrible play by Maguire, and it's sad that he wasn't the only player who let the side down in that first half. I think there was only really Elanga and Pogba who was showing a hell of a lot of passion, and I think Elanga could have done a lot better had he been able to focus on one position. The bringing in Lingard and Rashford didn't add anything to the team, which is quite shocking if you compare just how different they could have played had the formation, the tactics switched up. But City just absolutely dominated.
I mean, there's really not too many things worse like that I've seen in football than that defensive performance. This was bad. This was not good enough for Manchester United. This was worse than listening to a Corey Feldman album. This was worse than this was worse than eating dog food, out of Jack Grealish's,
pedigree chum dog food. As sponsors of the Westminster Kennel Club dog show 1997.
There you go. So yeah, that's the thoughts. Manchester City 4, Manchester United 1.
Yep, City extend their lead at the top of the table back to 6 points. Liverpool do have that game in hand and the match with City coming up, so still very much all to play for. But it's quickly turned into a very much a 2-horse race.
Alrighty, well, thank you everybody for tuning in and watching along with Mags and I. We had a lot of fun talking about all sorts of foods and biscuits and making fun of Matt and Jack Grealish. Saw some pretty awesome goals today. Mags, where can people find more of you?
So, you can find me down here. I get that wrong every time. Yeah, that's on Twitter at PodfatherMags. It used to be the only kind of social media outlet I use, but now I'm becoming a bit of a social media sensation over on TikTok. So come and follow me over there, Mags All Pods. In terms of content, all over Radio Tekkers. This is my home away from home with 5 rounds, with the volley, with chain wrestling coming up tomorrow. Or you can find me as well on Chair Shot with a change in attitude and Badlands, and also do a little bits here and there for Visionaries Global Media as well. So I'm all over the airwaves.
Indeed, Mags is a very busy man. And it's truly a joy.
I'm legitimately working off 4 hours sleep.
It's truly an honor and a pleasure that he has even elected to come and do this game with me today, because he could have done so many other things with his day.
Like sleep.
Yeah, he could have slept.
I could have slept.
Yeah, see United, this is your fault too. Mags could
have thanks, Harry Maguire.
Mags could have chosen sleep. But yeah, it's truly an honor and a pleasure as always, Mags, and you know that we have a ton of fun here on this show.
We certainly do. I wouldn't miss it for the world, sir.
Yeah. So make sure that you like, share, and subscribe to the channel here. We just found out that we were actually part of a video clip montage with some other big YouTubers like Mark Goldbridge.
Jesus.
Which is kind of ridiculous.
But also yeah.
Cool. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure that Mark Goldbridge is absolutely fuming about today's Manchester United performance.
Whereas we are not. We think it's hilarious.
We think it's great. But yeah, we were part of some kind of I guess like reactionary video from YouTubers about the Chelsea Liverpool game from last week. So go and check that out. I'll try and find the link and tweet it out. But thank you everybody. We truly appreciate y'all for tuning in and everything that you do here. We'll catch you on the flippity flop. Got lots more content coming for you.
You're not mentioning where people can find you.
I'm at Texas Gentleman _. You can go find
awesome.
me there.
Brilliant.
Yeah, just come check it out.
It's down here.
Down here. Right there. Right there. But yeah, follow us on Twitter at Radio Tekkers. That's where you can find links for all of our shows as they come out. Got lots of content, whether you're into pro wrestling, MMA, or football, we've got you covered. But until next time, folks, y'all take care out there. Be safe. Know that we love you, and have yourself a great rest of your day.
Bonjour.
Bon voyage. Oh, gosh. I gotta find the button.